2028 election. Guess who's saying that?
Tell me.
President John Dramani Mahama. Looks like a lot of stories and rumors going around that way.
Why is this news?
It's news.
Of course he will not contest it.
You won't allow it, or it can't happen, or you don't see it happen?
I'm not the one who won't allow it. The Constitution of Ghana won't allow it.
There's a constitutional review going on.
Well, that part would have to go through a referendum. And I'm not sure that President Mahama, after promising reset, wants to subject himself to that kind of situation that, all of a sudden you say, I want to do a third term. And then you have to go around trying to convince Ghanaians to give you a third term. He doesn't need that.
How embarrassing it would be.
Embarrassing,
to be that Ghanaian president who decides to wataralize himself, or
but here's the point:
to do that cliche thing that African leaders are ridiculed for doing, wanting to stay in power forever. How embarrassing it would be if you turned out to be the one president who decided to pursue that.
And Winston, don't we have consensus that 8 years is not enough for a Ghanaian president?
No, we don't have consensus.
Okay.
It is certainly an object of discussion, but it's not. There's no consensus. Besides, that debate can go in several different directions. It could go into the concept of extending the duration of
a term,
the two existing terms you can have, right?
Look,
that could be part of the conversation. So it's not about allowing them to have another term. You've had 2 terms, you couldn't do anything.
Look,
we should give you a 10th term to do
I have heard people saying that. They have said that, when you come into office the first year, you use the first year to settle.
Yeah.
Then the last year you campaign. Years ago, we're talking about the longest campaign period in the United Kingdom. It wasn't 1 year. It wasn't even 100 days. That was the longest campaign period. Now, why can't we get serious in this country and decide that we would actually, for some time, think about the affairs of the state and not engage in partisanship?
Right? That you feel will help.
Well,
right?
Yes. Yeah. If we think you cannot do that, there are those who've actually suggested, and I wouldn't mind that. There are those who have suggested that let's just give every president 1 term, 6 years.
I think it's is it President Kufuor who made that call? That
no, he had called
give an extended term.
He had talked about 5 years,
right?
5 years. But others have suggested that. How about you make it 6 years?
Okay.
Or maybe
so you take it once,
and you go.
And you're gone.
Then I asked the question: what if you have a president who's bad?
Okay.
Whose performance is very poor?
How do you remove them?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So 4 years is okay. If the people of Ghana think that
you should go another term.
You should do another term. You do another term. Look, I can understand where, sometimes when you're a political party and you've had... Now, the NDC's the face of the NDC since 2012 has been John Mahama.
Yeah.
So if you are the NDC, the concern is that, okay, so where would they go from here?
Right. So it will be a bit more easier, as you're saying, to field him as a candidate if the opportunity were to...
Unfortunately, John Mahama did a first term and is now doing a second term. You see, so it's as simple as that. Look, when people, let me just chip this in, when people raised concerns about John Mahama contesting a second time, because the Constitutional Review Committee at the time had put in place, I think was it page 1,000 or so that said that the Constitution should be looked at so that a president who loses an election can contest again. The general consensus in this country, was that the Constitution was clear. It didn't say consecutive. 2 terms.
2 terms. Yeah. You can't go beyond.
You can go beyond.
Right.
It.
Okay.
And so John Mahama will not. So I know there are people who are
calling for that.
Because
I've seen some videos like that.
But I know John Mahama will not do that.
Okay.
He doesn't need to subject himself to that torture.
You seem to be
on
the
embarrassment.
Yeah. You're calling it an embarrassment.
I can't turn away from the shame of it, right?
Yeah.
Well,
the president is thinking alike, just as Winston. He says that his focus for now is on fiscal discipline, not about the next election. So, at least our fears are being allayed, isn't it, on that. Graphic, okay, we'll take that later, but SHS placement out, and we know that it will happen on September 17. Already the results are out, so that's paving way for a lot of people to be placed into their senior high schools. If you ask me, I'll tell you to go for Bishop Herman College. I know the Ogasco boys and the Mali people will chew me up this morning, but it's fair enough. It's fair enough.
Mali cannot admit other students.
I
in
see.
Ghana.
So you're giving us the rest. Is
So
that what
you
is that how mean you are?
No, but I mean,
Let's give the rest to Ogasco, please.
What are you talking about?
So please take some.
I'm dashing you some back pass.
You don't give leftovers to the king.
I see. Great. Kennedy Japan, Brian the Champon submit nomination forms, and so that race is also heating up within the NPP.
Well, the Daily Guide for this morning says Mahama rules out third term. Brian Champon files, declares bold vision. Gold Board woos licensed miners with 832 Ghana cedis bonus. Akutia by-election NPP unhappy with security. And BOG bans dollar pricing for services. Now, talking about the NPP's, flag-bearership race, engineer Francis Adainimu has decided that enough. He's not going to contest.
Oh.
Yes. Well, I mean, beyond the funds, beyond the money, Adainimu, he contested in 2014, then contested in 2023, and he wanted to contest again. All the times that he's contested, he's performed poorly. And so, look, sometimes, and everybody knows, apart from those who are not truthful to Engineer Adainimu, Engineer Adainimu, that he won't win.
You think so?
I know so. I know so.
But I do realize that there are many people in the political space who are blind to reality when it comes to their chances, right? I mean, Alan Chamantin is probably going to run for president again, probably.
Yeah, he says he will do that in
2028. There you go. He believes he'll win.
Yeah.
In spite of his consistently reducing fortunes in every poll he's ever participated in.
The only sad thing is, I recall interviewing Engineer Adainimu, Winston, and he was mad at Global Info Analytics for taking him off the radar in terms of the polling as to who would be the next to lead the NPP, because his analysis was that in the last primaries, he came third or fourth. And I said, well, that's a marginal figure he got. He says, look, I've got the cash, I'm coming in, I've got the numbers, only for him to chicken out.
He's taking himself out of the
race, yes.
Engineer Adainimu, after contesting in 2014, lost his primary at Asante Mampong. But his own backyard, he lost. Look, don't fight it. There are people, and this is where, let me just do this analysis. Now, there are people who were of the belief that, I control a huge following. I have people who love me.
Yeah.
Look, many Ghanaians love their party. And if you want to know, go to various homes as they get ready for elections. When the fathers or mothers are advising their children on whom to vote for, they
then
say,
you can see.
To Abai Bekang. You know what that means? Because if your votes are only going to be counted, in effect, if you vote for the NPP or the NDC.
And I'll tell you, that does make me sad. It does make me sad that as an electorate, our psychology is around only two possibilities. It limits us as a nation.
Yeah.
Because honestly, I genuinely believe that breakthrough for this country
is when we have a third force.
Is when we have someone in power who didn't get there through owing people debts.
Yeah, I see.
But
anyway,
that point about getting into office without owing people, it's the reason I like the convention in the US, but of course Trump again did his own thing. The convention in the US, where if you contest the elections, so when you're nominated by your party and you contest the elections and lose, you don't come back. It's not a law, it's a convention, so people would just decide they wouldn't contest. But of course, Trump came back, he contested, he won. And so that's there. I make the point always that, look, if, for instance, Blessed is contesting as a presidential candidate, he wants to be president of this country, and I sell my house for the first time and I give it to Blessed, he goes and loses. Second time I sell my house. Third time I won't sell my house. I'll come to Blessed and say, Blessed, I came to pledge my support. However, you are indebted to me. So if you're successful the third time,
then you'd have to.
You'd have to pay me back. And that is our problem. It is the reason today you drive around the country and all our roads are in bad shape. So, in fact, sometimes roads that were constructed not long ago are poor.
But probably I should be tying that in because the race within the NPP is really heating up. I don't know this time round. Kojo, there seems to be some, intense competition here, even within the NPP. They are in opposition, but they seem to be very charged about this presidential race. Kennedy Agyapong is also in the race. The Daily Gist is talking about him, the fact that he stormed the NPP office with a massive crowd. In fact, some of our reporters were there yesterday. Flooded the entire headquarters with supporters. I don't know if that will translate into direct votes, but we wait to see what will happen. There's also the talk about Brian Achampong. There's this video, and Brian has been in the news for a hot mic, you would want to call it. I don't know if that qualifies for it, but there's also this aspect. He was claiming that he paid Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia's, he sorted their delegates, basically, the Bawumia campaign. He was the one who financed that aspect, the operation to support their delegates. But Fred Owari, who belongs to the Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia camp, is denying that. It reads here on the front page of the Daily Gist that Brian didn't pay delegates for Bawumia. Fred Owari clarifies.
Well, Brian is saying in the eastern region.
Okay, that's for his region.
His region.
Right. Okay.
He paid the delegates.
But is it true, though?
I don't know.
That's his claim.
Yeah, that's his claim.
I don't know.
But knowing him so well, it's not something too difficult for him, is it?
Well, there's one thing not being difficult for you, and another
whether you did it or
whether you did it. So yes, it's something he can do, but did he do it? That's the real deal, man. Okay. The National Enquirer says NPA trains over 300 tanker drivers. No economy can thrive without transport and logistics. Julius Debra, BOG bans dollar pricing for school fees, rent, airline tickets, warns. So, according to the law, yes, that's it. You don't have to do that. But today, a lot of schools that have, benchmarked their prices to the dollar. So they'll give you the cedis. But you know that you're paying dollars.
Indeed. The one additional caveat, though, is that cedi indexing to the dollar must be at the Bank of Ghana rate.
Yeah.
Right. So in the past, where the cedi is somewhere at 10.5 at the Bank of Ghana, and then you go to a school and then they are saying 12,
their
12.
own rates.
That's not supposed to happen. Right. This is good news.
Sounds good, not? But can it be enforced? Big question.
Kojo, it's good. Good news. But we've had various good news in this country, haven't we? Was it not in this country that a finance minister went to Parliament, told all of us that going forward, henceforth, we're not going to pay any contractor, we're not going to price any contract in dollars.
That's right.
And in no time, the same finance minister told us that cocoa prices had increased from some $3,000 to $5,000. Was it not the same finance minister?
So maybe that one is talking about cocoa.
Yeah, this one.
No, he was talking about payments to cocoa farmers in Ghana. Payment to cocoa farmers in Ghana. Why did he do that? Because he just wanted to show that they have increased it, but because of the appreciation of the Ghana cedi. Oh boy, we don't spend dollars in this country.
Okay.
Ghana, I'll tell you. Anyway,
they break.
Not done yet.
Quickly. Okay, you have more stories.
Yes, GRA to track cryptocurrency accounts with technology by year end. You know the cryptocurrency thing. I realized that in sub-Saharan Africa, Ghana ranks in the top 10.
Yes.
Now, when it comes to even the whole cryptocurrency trade, I did a paper on it some time ago. I mean, the taxing cryptocurrency and its implications for the country and all of that. What I realized was the fact that, look, in sub-Saharan Africa, about 80% of transactions from $1,000 below with cryptocurrency happens in sub-Saharan Africa.
Right.
It's a huge market in sub-Saharan Africa. Over $100 billion trade in cryptocurrency. And it's an area that we can actually make a lot of money from. if we focus on it. So I'm happy that GRA is talking about it.
And by the way, since we're on GRA, can I just say a very quick good morning to GRA's Commissioner General? He's been touted as doing a pretty good job.
I see. There's a controversial story about them. I'll bring that to you shortly.
Is that so? Okay.
Well, NIB to cushion Kantaman to 5 victims as market reopens, and 5 pillars of Ghana's Singapore partnership from farms to fintech.
Right. Great stories there on the National Enquirer. But the Daybreak is also here talking about GRA, could you? GRA is responding to allegations of wrongdoing. Guess what? In the auction of perishable goods.
Okay.
It used to be cars, isn't it?
Yes.
Now perishables are also coming in.
They seize them from markets and so forth, right?
Obviously, now they are, doing the auction for it. Many would want it to be just cars, just the non-perishables.
What are they accused of doing wrong?
We'll get into the details shortly. But of course, let me also do this one. Government reaffirms commitment to ethical labor migration as well. Then we've talked about the unity issues within the NPP. As of course, Brian Achampon submits his forms. He's been assuring that there'll be unity and discipline in the party, and the famous talk about the third-term agenda with John Mahama clarifying that. So these are some of the stories you'd find on the front page of Daybreak.
Well, the Daily Democrat says you can't trade in dollars. BOG warns. Dr. Kevo champions Ghana's digital trade hub. NPA trains tanker drivers on downstream compliance. For example, calls for partnerships in ICT growth. And Gold Board rewards licensed miners. And finally, Education Ministry assures transparency in BEC placement.
Yeah, and as you were asking for, Kujo, the fact that the Ghana Revenue Authority, they've issued a statement indicating that their attention has been drawn to news reports on a press release issued by Importers and Exporters Association of Ghana alleging non-adherence to the customs procedures in auctioning of perishable goods at the ports. So this is their clarification that first, the Custom Act 2015, Act 891, has provisions on the treatment of perishables and non-perishable goods as well. Now, they continue to say that if you go to somewhere section 52 or 53 and also 59 of the Customs, that same act, it outlines the procedures for imported goods, including vehicles that are not entered or cleared within a specified time. Now, in the case of perishable goods, the Customs Act, the same 2015 Act, authorizes a proper officer to immediately dispose of the goods after 21 days of overstay through public auction. Okay. So that's their stance. But the importers and exporters have been claiming that, well, you shouldn't do that to perishables. I wonder why. Of course, they're also raising those concerns.
Okay.